My name is Charles Toyer. I would like to say something about a murder case against me and the death of my partner, Tiffany. I'd like to share this story with the world in hope of saving someone's life. The world is speaking about social injustice as they should, especially towards African American people, and especially concerning law enforcement. As a prisoner, I'm always overlooked by society, and the money and the material things I try to accumulate for my family are no longer important. The only thing that I have left is my voice, and I just want to be heard. Some people do deserve a second chance. I would like to draw attention to the state of Ohio because out of all states, Ohio has very few organizations that are geared toward helping someone that looks like me. I can say with absolute certainty, after talking to and with thousands of prisoners in the Ohio prison system, where I often spoke on the difficult problems of rehabilitation and ethical thinking towards violence, that the very same actors in the system which claims to uphold the law are in fact lawbreakers themselves. For example, in my case, I was with my partner for 4 years. I had never been arrested for a violent crime before. I came from a home in Toledo where I was raised by my wonderful, loving Christian grandmother. There was no way I would ever have the purpose to cause any woman or mother any harm, and never would I have had the purpose to inflict harm likely to cause death on the love of my life, the mother of our then 2-month-old child. As is the case with every relationship, there were challenges, especially for a young couple, and they were for me and Tiff. There were no history of domestic violence between us. In fact, we were working on building a stable family home. As of the night in 2012, the tragedy took place. None of this was considered by the investigators in charge of me. They ignored probable cause and they ignored it outrageously. None of this was considered by the prosecutors in convicting me. They ignored the presumption of innocence and they did so outrageously. My judge also ignored probable cause. The indictment charged me with manslaughter and murder. So I wanted the jury to be notified about murder and manslaughter so that they can know the difference. Once they knew the difference, they could make a decision about one or the other. Instead, the judge threw out the manslaughter charge before I went to trial, so the jury didn't know about manslaughter. This is my story. I worked my normal shift of 8 hours as a furniture delivery man and arrived home to find my partner intoxicated. She was confrontational from the moment I walked in the door from work, questioning my whereabouts. I tried to de-escalate the situation by explaining that I had left work later than usual. My answer did not satisfy her, and that is when I believe her intoxication did not give me a chance to get her to see reason for my late arrival. What resulted, finally, after my attempts at de-escalation failed, was a struggle in which accidentally a wound resulted in her death. I called the police. I, I stayed by her side until the ambulance came. They separated us. I am choosing to censor details leading up to this accident, which occurred at the moment Tiff suffered what would be the single wound that would change and tear our family's life to pieces forever out of compassion, respect, and sympathy for my daughter and Tiff's family. I had no purpose at any time in this tragedy to inflict harm on Tiff, no less deadly harm, the requirement of the murder charge. The only charge which went to the jury, a jury in which only 2 out of the 12 jurors were African Americans, and the jury foreperson also was biased because she had experienced domestic violence before. When I went to trial, the neighbor who could have cooperated the entire incident from beginning to end, not allowed to testify. Based on real facts, had I not been somebody who looks like me, The charge in the first place never would have been anything other than negligent or reckless homicide, or even involuntary manslaughter. My stance was and is simple. My partner and I were raising not one, but two children, one of which she had in their previous relationship. As their father, I always wanted to protect them from witnessing mommy and daddy arguing. I made a vow that my children would grow up seeing stability in my home. To be honest, I feel I never stood a chance in the Ohio court of law, even under the real facts. I am now asking for the chance that I deserved 9 years ago. I want people to know the truth, hear my side, the side of real justice for a change, and in that process, I believe